each other.
All right, so today we are doing some behind the scenes for a wedding I shot back in October for Lori and Brent. Right now we're doing wedding party pictures and getting ready at the hotel. The second shooter is with the guys on another floor. We'll meet up with her later. And then we're going to the company stables in Mount Pleasant, PA. It's about 2 hours from me. Of course, anytime they say they want to do their dog in there, I'm like, absolutely. He crushed it.
Those are adorable.
What a little gentleman. This was really the only option for a room for getting ready pictures. You can kind of see off there to the right when I'm a little wider. There's the hallway with the bathroom, a little closet leading to that kind of main room, also with no windows, and then into here with a window. So that kind of decided everything for me. You just got to roll with it sometimes. Luckily, I could get wide enough. I'm shooting on a Sigma 24-70 and a Sony A9 body, so I could get plenty wide enough. ISO isn't an issue, so I was able to make it work out. Then we went off to the company stables for the wedding party, getting ready. The girls are there in the little cabin. The guys are still at the hotel. They're coming out in a little bit. So I'm trying to get their details done while they pretty much have all the hair and makeup finished at the hotel. They're just kind of doing some finishing touches here, and then they're going to do getting in their dresses and all that. We're going to get ready. We'll do first look with the girls. Letter reading, mom helping her getting in the dress, those kind of details. And then in between, I'm going to wander around and get shots of the venue inside. So right now I'm just kind of setting up the couple details they had. Get a little variety. Put on the Sony macro, the 90mm for some of these shots. This was also the first wedding that I've edited so far with the Insta360 X3 for the behind the scenes. So if there's some wonky framing in here, it was totally me. I always love watching the BTS videos from other people because I love always having something different to learn with how they handle the day, their troubleshooting for various situations, and just all the different variables that happen on that day. Maybe some of their prompts, their organization, their thought process behind some shots, what they're looking for, what they're trying to avoid. So I thought, why not, put some of my ideas out. This is just some of my thoughts. Same thing. If somebody can get anything out of it, that's fantastic. And I'm also super into, if you do things different, I'm super down to try it out. Just want to do everything better. I think everybody should want to do better. That's all. Right now I'm just kind of getting some different shots with their rings, and they're not done getting ready yet. So while they're getting in their dresses, I'm going to run in the venue and get some shots of the details set up in here. Brent is a cop in Pittsburgh, so they had some donuts for their cake table. I thought that was fun. And for the getting ready pictures, especially in here, since nothing's really going on, there's a couple odd people, the DJ setting up, a few last minute things. I'm just picking a corner and I'm going to work my way around, or I'm going to forget something, overlook something. So I'm just going to kind of pick a direction and worm my way around. The guys in the second shooter are on their way. The girls are getting in the dress, so just moseying around. While I'm doing this too, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do for later for the reception, because the barn weddings, you have your typical backlit open door and your kind of orange tint from the wood. So I'm trying to plan out around some of that to get my skin tones good, to keep exposures as even as I can. Right now I'm not, because I'm not really doing full room shots. I'll do like one full room shot, but I'm going to shoot it bracketed anyways instead of flash. And then I'm kind of planning how I want my lights set up for later, because I'll put up some off-camera flash, and I'll also have a speed light that's triggering them, so I'll have on-camera and off all at once. So once I know which door they're coming in, I'll kind of adjust my plan, but for right now, I'm trying to just kind of get the vibe of what I need to do. I try to be really careful with, even if it's hard to make it like an artistic shot of like the buckets of stuff sometimes, or just the way something's set up. I still try to get it in a couple different angles or a little bit of variety, just because I know that they've put a lot of time and money and effort into doing everything, and I want to try to do the best job of making sure they can look back at what it looked like and what they did. That kind of goes into my editing too. I have a hard time describing my editing style because it varies, because I like to fit it to the couple, the style of the day. If they already have a color theme that's like real specific and it's kind of through everything, I don't want to affect that very much, because they went through and picked out like that really obscure blue or purple that I want. They liked it on purpose, so I want to keep that color like that. So I do try to keep that in mind. And then if there's certain locations or the couple's putting off a certain type of vibe, where maybe it's more of a, like Brent and Lawyer, they were real laid back, really easy, really fun. They had ideas. They were just down for whatever. That kind of leads me to more of a fun, candid kind of day, and just kind of, how am I going to word this? I still try to have a couple like elevated artsy kind of shots, because I think that's nice to have if they want to do prints or something, or even just for myself, as you know, for something fun to try out. But I also kind of want to keep the couple's personality as a part of it too. I don't feel like for weddings that my job is to put my spin on it. There's a point that I do, but I don't feel like my style should be put over their style that they chose. That was kind of rambling, and I hope that made sense. But again, they put a lot of effort and time and money into planning and picking things out that I want to really showcase that. If there's a wedding maybe that's more simple, maybe they don't have a specific color theme, maybe there's not as much going on, then maybe I'll try to amplify that a little bit with a little different, more stylized edit. But again, I'm looking for different elements of the shot that I can apply to that later. Right now they're doing letter readings. I have her in that little corner of the cabin because that's the only even lighting I have in there with the shade. So I'm just going to work my way around and get as many different types of shots and angles as I can. There's a couple shots I like to get, but I'll wait until they're done reading to get, and I'll just have them restage those, because this is a nice moment too, and I also don't want to be too intrusive and like be up in their face while they're reading this real personal thing. I'm also watching for reactions, laughs, smiles, tears. I'm looking for them juicy tears all day. This is one I like to get. I'll have them just kind of look at it, and I'll shoot over their shoulder. I like to get a bottom-up shot of them with the letter in the foreground and them looking at it. And then those are kind of nice to pair with doing the same shot with the other person. For the dress shot, I was kind of limited on what I could do, since by now the guys are here. So they're on the other side of those trees at the barn where I was doing details earlier. So I can't take the dress over there now. And there's really not many places to go there's no room in there. That is a tight cabin. There's already that many people in there. They're doing stuff spread out. So this was the next best choice. I'm just trying to balance my exposure to where I can pull back as much highlights and shadows as I can. And then just trying to get some little details. This wasn't the ideal setup for the dress, but it's worked with what I could. The other option I thought of was on the back side of the building there, between that and the trees, but I wouldn't have even had enough room to get back to get the whole thing in a shot. And there wasn't anything to hang it on anyways on that side, because there's no windows, there's no windowsill or anything like that. And those wood siding, how that is, was too rough, and it wasn't flat enough to stick a command hook on and trust it. So I just went with putting it where I did. He said he might cry.
Really?
Or I asked if he was going to cry, and he's like, I don't know. That's a little icebreaker I'll do with the guys, especially, and the dads. And also just because I'm curious so I know who I'm watching for later. I'll ask them if they think they're going to cry. I also have my kind of guess, and I'll take bets on who I think the criers are going to be, and then it's always interesting when I get surprised.
I wouldn't know how to do that anymore.
I want to know who to watch for later and get some good, nice, juicy reaction shots from. Right now, I'm just getting kind of mom's reaction. I'm getting just the last little bit of them fastening the dress. I might have mom, help adjust her necklace or just look like she is. Maybe, just give a hug, just kind of have a little moment. The girls are going to be over there for the first look. So Marion has the girls back around behind the cabin. That was another thing, too, was that where I was going to run them up that walkway to the left, but it wasn't going to be wide enough to get everybody again. So in the back, that tree line goes down to about the end of the cabin, a little past the cabin. But then it's kind of open again to the barn. So I'm going to radio over to Marion here in a little bit whenever we're ready to make sure the guys are all staying in the barn. And the girls are lined up in the back in one of the few shade spots we have, as hidden as we can from the guys still. So then we're going to do first look with the girls, bridal party pictures, and then get ready for the ceremony. There we go. Yeah, this was the only little pocket of shade we had in this corner. There's that big chalk line up front, but we made it work. It was an easy edit out, so it wasn't a big deal. Also on that other side, if I turn them straight the other way, there's the house in the back.
You're getting the ugliest fucking face.
And Lori can kind of stay back closer to the trees and stay hidden as much as she can.
Whatever feels. That's fine like that.
All right. You can turn around.
That's the reaction you want.
Everything came together.
We got Dad getting his boutonniere on back there. That wasn't going to be an official first look, and it still kind of wasn't, but we made it work. We just kind of did a couple minutes with Dad back there too, since he was out.
We already established
I know.
that.
You look great. I know.
Hold on, everybody stay there. You should not take it. I know. No, there's some in the thing. We should run it out. Why keep looking at here? Yeah. Girl, say something funny to her. Like, say something funny to her.
Yes.
You should give it on something and then diarrhea.
Marion is a great second shooter too, because I've second shot for her quite a few times over the last couple of years, and then I finally had a chance where I could have her help me out, and I knew she does great. She's got a nice complimentary personality to me. She's a little more forward, and she always has ideas. She's always thinking of stuff, and I know that if something would happen that I would need her to handle it for whatever random reason, she'd be fine. I'd be super comfortable knowing that she knows what's up. It's not a big deal.
Everyone has to make sure I don't have too much cleavage.
I'll tag her in the comments too, or in the description. She does a lot of great work. She's out around Pittsburgh also. Marion J. Malloy. I think this was the first wedding this year that I had a second shooter of my own. All the rest of mine have been solo, or I've been shooting for somebody else. There's Dad.
You guys can come on in now.
Come on in.
Yeah.
And this
There's
way.
a foamy on it.
Foamy?
From the hanger.
I'm a mess.
Yeah.
I think I need
I
to
see it,
touch
I
up
see it.
again. It's just like way prettier than I thought. Like with the makeup, the hair, and the thing. Like,
Look, she came out.
I'm always looking for something to shoot through. People, leaves, glasses, candles. Foreground elements always nice.
It's like you hold it here, and I feel like I got
Oh, yeah. If you guys want to go grab your bouquets and her bouquet real quick, we'll just do all you guys real quick, and then you can hide out again.
okay.
Trying to keep things happening at the same time too. While they're getting bouquets and getting everything ready, I'm knocking out that quick little first look section with Dad,
Lori,
and then back to bridal party pictures real quick.
Lori, look at everybody else.
Do a few combos
I
of
won't
the
make you
group,
pick your favorite this time.
and then do individuals. Maybe get a couple single shots of Lori,
Lori,
but if not,
leave Lori there.
I also know I have time after the ceremony because this timeline was
Take a little step back.
pretty relaxed. There was a lot of buffer time. Nothing happened. Nothing went wrong. It was pretty sweet.
A little bit,
Lori crushed it too. She was a great bride
and then you
because she
back
was
a
like
little bit,
on it with everything.
and
With the questionnaire, with the timeline, with the family formals list.
there we
I sent out templates for everything. She
go. Right.
I kind of have a template I'll send out that kind of gives. I'll have one for a first look and then one that's more of a normal kind of timeline for the day. And it's just some rough time ranges of allow like 10 to 30 minutes for this, 20 to 40 minutes for this, all the way through until about the entrances. And then I'll just tell them, hey, start with your ceremony time and work front and back from there. And then start on the longer end of the time. And then if it doesn't work, then we can sit down together and shave down time and shuffle things around however we need to fit it better. And she crushed it. She sent a draft back and was like, hey, here's an idea. Let me know if that's enough time.
Rare one. All right.
And I was like, oh, okay. And it was great. It was fine. That was so awesome.
All right.
We just made a couple tiny tweaks closer to the date, and then it was all good to go.
Look at each other. All right. Who's next?
Just next in line.
I also want them to be able to relax on their day too. That's something I stress a lot, is that I'll help you with your timeline. A lot of photographers will do that though. They'll help you with your timeline. They'll kind of keep the day pushing, and just I made sure they know, hey, there is some buffer time built into this. So if something happens, it's not a catastrophe. We can make it up somewhere else. If there is something big that happens that we do need to shuffle things heavy, we'll figure it out, or we'll decide what to cut, or if you want to add time, or whatever the situation is, it's fine. Don't worry about it till it happens. Go enjoy your day. It'll be great.
Oh. All right. Who's next?
Seen all kinds of wacky random stuff, and it'll be
Oh,
fine.
just hide the eye side. Nice.
Usually for the individuals, I'll have them do 3 or 4 combos. I'll have them do smile, look at me, look at each other, and then either a serious or do something funny if they got a secret handshake or something goofy they've planned. And if they don't, then all right, next person. If anybody thinks of something else, we'll do it for sure.
No, you guys are fine.
Okay, look at
Then
each
there's
other.
some couples and groups that are like so full of ideas, almost too many ideas. They just have all kinds of stuff they want to do, and I am all for it. And then I'm like, all right, we got 2-3 minutes. Go. Do as many things as you can and have them speed run it. It's always nice to have the variety to pick from when you're getting ready to deliver.
Okay, look at each other.
Really close. Yeah.
Awesome.
So when they did that,
All right, is that everybody?
All right, I sped up the ceremony a little bit. I probably should have sped it up a little faster, but maybe next time. So this ended up being kind of a challenge, mainly because of the officiant. The wedding party faces in the sun, pretty normal. It's fine for lighting. It's kind of flat, but it was okay because it was high enough. They're going to kind of almost get the raccoon eyes, and they're going to get the squints. So I'm trying to watch for that as much as I can. So I'm going to wait to get their shots until they're turned and looking at the couple, and not looking straight into the sun. Also, I'm hoping that when Brent comes down, he's right there, that when he comes down, he's going to be in front of that shade line that's going to be right across the center of the officiant's face. Luckily, he was. That was great for him. The officiant was a challenge because that was just right in the center of his face. Right now, Marion is in the back, on the left side, back there by the arch, getting everybody coming down. I'm getting everybody coming up through, and then I'm there so I can just pivot and turn and get shots of Brent for his reaction when Lori comes down. I can get the father-daughter handoff, and then I'm also there to get the parents, the front row reactions, get the couple's first reactions. There's a lot of that stuff happening up there up front. And then after that, then I'll just wander all over the place and try to find different shots. I'll swap out focal lengths. I'll just kind of play around from there until it's coming down to the end, and then I'll work my way back to the middle and get the rings, get the walking, the kisses, and the walking back down. Here she comes. So now I'm swapping over so I'm out of the way. I can also get his reaction. I can get her coming down. I can get the parents' reactions. Also, I was lucky enough to get to shoot here back in April. I ended up doing video for somebody else, so I got to check the place out before. But again, the variables are all different between April and October. So that is one thing that I think is kind of overthought sometimes by couples, and not for like bad. I mean, it's totally fair, but asking if you shot there before kind of doesn't matter, because it's going to be a different time of year, a different time of day. Their layout can be totally different. Their timeline is totally different. Everything can just be, all the variables are changed. So it kind of doesn't matter more than it matters. There's been a handful of places I've got to shoot multiple times, and the setup was completely different. I thought I knew what I was doing going in there, and I ended up looking at it like a whole new place each time anyways. So I kind of like that too, that it keeps it fresh. Going back to get the wide shot, and then I'm going to go swap lenses. I'm going to throw in a 135 for a little bit. And I knew that was going to happen. I could feel it sliding and did it anyways. And Marion was really good with this too. We have the radios, but we didn't use them all that much apart from getting ready. And just lining up, getting ready for the first looks to make sure the guys were away and make sure that we were both ready and everything. So once one of us moves and if I see her coming my way, I'm headed her way to get the other side or you know, we're just swapping around as whenever we're ready. It's nice too to be able to get behind the couple every once in a while too, because a lot of times you don't get to. And there's been a few times where I've had a couple requests, especially for the kiss shot, where they want the crowd in the back. And I love doing that when I can. But usually there's either a super steep drop off or there's just no chance to get back there. This one, luckily, I was able to for a couple shots. So it was nice.
Marriage understands and forgives the mistakes, which is unavoidable in life. It encourages and nurtures new life, new experiences, and new ways of expressing love in the seasons of life. When two people pledge to love and care for each other in marriage, they create a spirit unique.
And I'm just going to keep working my circle around the area, looking for shots, shooting through people, getting her, getting him, getting the couple, the different shots of the wedding party. And I'm going back to my bag because now I want to make sure I can still get to my 24-70 if they decide to hurry along a little bit and I'm not ready for them to walk back down. You gotta love those 360 camera angles. Ring time, so I'm gonna get up in there. I'm curious to see whatever people their thoughts are on this too, because I usually like to try to zoom in as close as I can, but usually I know I'm not going to be able to get a really good angle for the ring. So sometimes later I'll go through and I'll have them look like they're looking at the rings, and it'll be a close-up, so I can kind of fit that in there. But there's been a couple of people that I've worked with that they are not shy about it. They will get up on the stage, they'll get up in there, they'll get the shot. It looks great, but I would have a literal panic attack if I did that. But I don't know. How do you guys do that? Well, now we're coming down to the end, so I'm going to swap lenses again and get ready to roll. And I did it just in time.
Think about the happiness you're feeling at this moment. Let those feelings sink deep into your hearts. I hope this moment and these feelings will stick with you for all the days of your life. And with that, in so much as breath and glory, pronounce the truths of our in your hearts.
Marion shooting through the crowd, getting the other angle.
Stop the kiss. Have a kiss. All right, you're good.
And now hold and watch them for a little bit, because now there's going to be the deep breath. So watch them. They might have a little moment there. So now Marion's going to catch everybody coming down the aisle. I'm going to come back here sneakily, kind of, to where I can see them if they have something they're doing, or also to get the wedding party as they come into the shade. So she's getting the sun shot, I'm getting the shade shot. And then whoever gets the best shot, once I go back through and call everything, that's one we'll use. And also if they end up having a moment back there, then I can just spin real quick and grab that. So now we're on to family formals, and this is sped up too because this is pretty standard, but decided to have everybody kind of tucked up under that tree line. That was the biggest chunk of shade, and I didn't know how big the groups of people were going to be.
Yeah, one on each side.
So if I could do them all in one line if I needed to.
There we go. All right.
But it worked out pretty good. I have Marion up there. She's with Lori, and they're calling off names of the list for who up next.
All right.
And then whoever side of the family is already right there ready to go, we'll do them first. And then that also gives us time, too, for if somebody runs off, they went to the bathroom, went to the bar. Somebody can either go get them, or they'll have time to decide, do you want to skip it and do them later, or do you want to wait a minute and do them when they come back? I try to get all that with as much time as possible. I like trying to keep my groups even on each side as much as possible.
Okay, Mom and Dad, scooch in a little bit. All right. All right.
Next one, mom, dad, brother, brother-in-law with bride and groom. Again, mom, dad, brother, brother-in-law with bride and groom.
Marion crushing it over there.
Does that mean me? you know your relation to the bride and groom. Is that me?
We'll have one of you on the other side. We'll just even it up a little bit there. Okay, this is everybody. Yeah, we're all here. All right.
Papa, come over here.
All right, everybody look right here. Awesome.
Okay, no. We're going
The reunion ended up not being that big of a family list, so that was really nice.
Or is this a different one?
Can I here? Hold on. Hold that.
I'll give them a template too that kind of is just
No, they're just
a pretty
gonna
rough,
crowd around,
generic, hey, here's usually the close family list that everybody likes to get. It's the officiant, the parents, down to the siblings, sometimes uncles, aunts, cousins, depending on how close they are to them. And then I always tell them, hey, just use whoever applies to your situation, and we'll add in whoever else. I also like to make sure that have them add in anybody that maybe some elderly family that may not be able to get out much anymore, that this is a special occasion for them, so make sure they're included. Or if there's a friend that's from like way out of town that's they may not see again for years, make sure they're involved in there. Back to the wedding party. Now that we have everybody together, since they didn't do a first look.
I thought you said everybody cares.
Marion already did the guys together and the individuals with the guys at the hotel, so that's already done. So now it's just everybody, and then later on here they thought of a couple of different things that the girls wanted to do together, and then we moved on to couples portraits. This is something I like to be fun too, because everybody's it's been a long day. They're hot, they're hungry, they want something to drink. They might need to hit the bathroom. So I try to scoot through this as quick as I can while still getting what I need. And I'm still super open to anything they have. If they have ideas, I'm down for it. As long as we have time, I'm up for it.
Yeah, we
Boy, girl. You want to be boy here or girl here?
There we go, just a guy in between.
You're a boy here now.
We're on the end, Kennedy.
All right, everybody flowers on that side. And
Why do the cheers always go like this?
Ready? All right, cheers.
Whoa.
What? Good thing this isn't video. That would have been a do-over. All right. Anything else with the group? Other than that, I think it's just you two.
Time to go drink? That's our favorite. Yeah.
Just like I don't like them that much.
I know. He's like, no. A little less pictures.
Yeah, they thought of a couple things that they wanted to do, so we busted that out real quick.
More, and then we'll kind of just make it even.
I don't know
It'll take some shuffling here.
I don't know how big they are.
This one in a little bit.
It's so pretty for you. You're gonna love this picture.
We're just perfect.
No big deal.
Fan made.
Look down to your flowers.
Look to one side, kind of like.
Look off to one side, your favorite side.
Beautiful. Okay. I'm satisfied.
I remember there was something else that Lori mentioned before. It completely slipped my mind. I could not remember what it was.
I think it's over there.
Yeah. Excited group with flowers in the air, different directions. Back interlocking arms and bouquets. Bridesmaid first look. Walking in V behind bride. Flowers arranged around. We did. Bridesmaid carrying train. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't do back.
Oh yeah, she wanted to do them holding their flowers behind their back and then all in line.
You don't have your dog here, right?
Yeah, they were going to have the dog in the wedding also, but everybody that was usually watching the dog and kind of handling him was in the wedding. So he was a little excitable. He was an Australian cattle dog, so he's always on the lookout for shit to do. And they just decided it was probably a little better that he kind of relaxed for a little bit. So I'm really glad we got the shots with the dog earlier.
Yeah. Are we trying to have one work?
Is it this one in through the front?
No. Upside down. You can't get my arms in there. Like this. Come on, guys. Figure it out. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Can everybody scooch in closer? Pull the chain in there if it'll work. All right.
Do a quick safety shot with the 24-70, and then I remembered I wanted to run over and grab my tilt lens. I like using that for some of these shots. It's just the TT Artisan 50mm f1.4 tilt. It's a fun lens. I've had a lot of fun with it because I can make a little sliver of focus on just the flowers, and then I'll have them like all look at each other, and then just get a shot of just their faces in focus. Or I'll do it sideways, get a vertical sliver and get her in focus with the other girls out of focus. Some different variety I can get out of that. That's always fun. I like using it for video too. I'll have that in some of the other behind the scenes picture or videos where I'm using it to like shift focus across the frame for some of the detail shots and close-ups. That's always fun. It's been a fun lens.
And similar deals before, just kind of drunk walk, look at each other, have fun walking through.
Yeah, I always like getting them to practice their drunk walk, just in case they need practice for later for the reception.
All you mean is like, instead of drunk walk, imagine there's a bee.
Oh my God, I went wrong. Okay.
I think all that's left is just some of you and Brent, and I think we're good. And then you're walking in at 4.
5.
All right, now it's on to couples portraits.
We'll have...
Again, they had a couple ideas or a couple general spots they liked and things they wanted to do, and then I told Marion, hey, if you see something you want to do, get on it, put it together, set up whatever you want. I'm always down for other people's ideas, and she's always been real cool with me, working with her before.
Okay, Lori, kiss him on the cheek. Brent, keep looking here. Nice.
And she always has cool ideas, so I trust her.
We'll do Brent in front, Lori behind.
And I have to like think of which arm still. As many of these as I've done, I have to think of which arm am I doing. I have to like do it myself to tell them this is what it is.
The flowers molt.
I shouldn't have to do that at this point, but every single time I still can't remember.
Yeah, you can have kind of your kind of like up on her hand if you can finger on that. We'll have your arm down for this one. We'll have your kind of maybe there-ish. Close up.
I like getting this shot too because it's the close up on the boutonniere, the pocket square, the ring, and then I can just kind of have her like peek over his shoulder. The peek's nice, but then you get some different height differences, and sometimes the shot just doesn't work. But when I'm able to get it, I like getting that.
Okay, now Lori, look at me, and Brent, you kind of just turn your head like you're looking at her. It'll look like you're looking at her. Now look at each other, kind of. Oh. All right.
And they were super great. They were super down for anything. They had some ideas. They were just super chill.
Oh, okay.
They just made it real easy. It was nice. I'm always fine too when some of the couples will tell me ahead of time, hey, I know I'm gonna need you to keep us on track. I'm like, absolutely, I got you. And then you have some that's like Lori, like her and her mom, they kind of kept the day rolling smooth. Everybody was on their shit, and it was fine. I didn't really need to do any, I just kept track of the time, but as far as that, it was all smooth. So I was really able just to kind of relax, do what we needed to do with them, and just kind of stay in the shadows where I needed to, and kind of guide to the next section when they needed.
There we go.
You kind of got to be flexible with your couples too, and the flow of the day, depending on how many moving parts there are. It's just, they're all so unique and have their own set of variables, so you got to be able to twist around and be as flexible as you can to handle the situation.
Okay.
Lori, look at me here. Good nose to nose. Don't, yes. Don't get super close, but like, oh, that's it. I love it. Perfect.
All right. Maybe we'll have you guys kind of go back there, and you're just going to kind of hold hands and walk.
Hold on.
You can either hold it or let it drag, whatever you feel. Whatever you want to do with that. And then one of them will have, you'll be like kind of holding hands, and one of you will be like leading the other one once you kind of get out to here.
I always ask that too. How, if you're comfortable, either physically comfortable moving in the dress, or if you're
I'm gonna have them walk
comfortable, you know, with like it on the ground. Some of them don't want it in the grass at all. Some people would literally jump in a mud puddle just because it would be a cool shot. They're like, it's the dress. I'll wear it today. That's it. They want the cool shot. They want to have fun. Some people are really careful with it and really respectful of it and everything. And I would always ask, this is my idea. Is that something sounds good to you?
Yeah.
You can absolutely say no.
Hey, Brandon,
Or if
you
I want to
have
have them sit on a bench, I'll go
hand
make
in the
sure it's
pocket. There we
wet,
go.
not wet, or not too dirty, and going to hold somebody's weight. Or a couple times I've had there's been a dock at a pond, and they wanted a shot out on the dock, and I'm like, let me go see how tippy and sturdy it is first, and I'll
Look back at each
wander out on the
other.
dock and jump around a little bit and say, okay, it's
All right,
I
stop
think it's
there.
fine. If you want to go out
And
there,
we'll
it's
have-
great. If not, we'll do something else. It's not a big
Whoever
deal.
wants to lead, you're just going to kind of keep a couple feet apart from each other, and then we'll have you kind of look back at each other and then look at us.
Again, the walking shot's always nice. Get some kind of action in there. I do video too, so I like to try to have some poses that are good, good for both.
All right. And then we'll use the little walkway.
Now, this little path down the trees was really nice when I was here back in April. But again, the light was totally different. The time of day was different when we were back here. It was a little more overcast,
And then I know I need
and
some
it
of
was
the visuals
earlier in the
of
day.
you.
So the sun was higher, and it was also overcast a little bit. It was just enough that there wasn't all the super hot spots. And also, I wanted to be careful that I didn't get too much of the green tint on their skin from the pine trees around. So I was kind of trying to be careful of both of those. But luckily, the green ended up not being a problem, and we just kind of stuck them in one of the shade pockets, and it was fine. I was hoping the sun would either be a little bit lower, and I could have more strips of sun between the trees, and I could stand them in the strip and expose for them, or
Look at each other.
mainly that kind of thing. But the sun just didn't cooperate that time of year, so I just had to roll with it. Marion kind of took over, gave him a couple prompts. I shot through the trees. She shot him straight on, and it was great.
Your ear.
Yeah, get super close to saying the sexiest voice. Go ahead, get close. Sexiest voice, your favorite cereal. Go ahead. That works.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
All right.
He said his favorite cereal is Fruity Pebbles, and I hate that his favorite cereal is Fruity Pebbles because he leaves them crusted on the sink. Instead of
Those are the fun stories I like. You get to learn a little bit more about them, and it's just fun.
no more Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, it's 450.
10 still. Yeah, we got a ton of
Do you want
time.
to take it all the way in the back, where we were like with the bridesmaids?
Oh yeah, that'd be a good spot. Get back where we did your first look real quick. Oh, just turn the 360 camera on.
I'm just saying it. Okay. Face to face now?
I always like backlit shots or shooting on the shadow side. It just looks nice. It's a little more even exposure on them.
Get super close.
Just getting them kind of highlighted is just really nice.
Look at that.
Look at each other. Again, kind of like put your nose together, like rub noses. That's what I'm meaning. Yeah. Lori, look at Tim. That's perfect.
Okay, Brent, back kind of wiggling your nose.
Try to get them to do some fun, goofy stuff just to get a little laugh out of them.
You want to sit? Yeah, yes, I love it.
Especially since they were that kind of couple. There's some couples that are more
See if it'll work.
you just know the personality. Some of them are maybe a little more dry personality, and or maybe the style of their day and the look of everything is more I don't know what word I'm looking for.
Kind of how you are, but you're going to kind of catch her from the front and then kind of spin.
Just that commercial maybe style where it's like everything looks like a magazine. Like I shot, there was one at the arcade up in Cleveland, and the everything's different in there. You do get a lot of the window light because the whole top is window, but it's not necessarily direct light. And then there's a ton of bokeh shots. It's just really cool to make everything look like it's out of a magazine. So it's sometimes that way is a little. I'm looking at things a little different. Like I mentioned before with the details, and kind of with my editing thoughts of I want to keep things similar to how they look because they picked it on purpose. But then there's sometimes like that I'll take the creative liberty and be like, no, this is going to look sick. We need to do this real quick.
It'll be fine. I was just trying to get the sun out of your face. Keep some squinty faces, but the rock pile's pretty sick.
I know Brent's been pretty chill and quiet through the day. He had an idea. I'm like, absolutely, my guy.
Or like we all the way down.
Oh, like have them that might be good. Have them kind of at the edge and us down.
Now he wanted to go down. It's behind where the camera's looking right now, of course, down the hill. There's a little bit of longer grass. But right now, the way the sun is, it's going to be blasting them right in the face. So we're going to come back later around sunset and go down there when it's not as bad. I had an idea here with the tilt shift lens again of trying to take a wider shot and just kind of having their hands and faces in focus and everything else blurred.
And the doors are you going to use them?
Lori, this way just a little bit, right there. Look at each other. No, walk towards each other with your hands out to each other. All right. You got in?
The doors?
Oh yeah, do you guys want to do something in front of the doors? Yeah. Barn doors?
Then they mentioned before wanting to do something at the barn doors in the back, and then that's in the shade, so that's a good spot to do now. And then it's pretty much time for them to go get a drink, go snack, go pee, go mingle a little bit, and get ready for entrances. All right, entrance time. So we're both running two AD200s off camera, and then we also have she has a trigger on one camera and a speed light on the other, triggering also, and right now I'm still just using the one body and have the speed light triggering my flashes. Right now I have one light that's back there by the bar, about halfway back the room, facing towards the window. Well, not the window, the door they're coming in, the big double doors, to try to even out the exposure on them, since I know I'm going to have to expose real dark for the outside. And then I have one that's back here to my right behind Marion, that's facing more towards the middle of the floor, so I can get a couple shots of them as they're further in the room too, and their exposure is a little more even with the room. So we get a little bit of variety. Marion looks like she has the same setup. And then also I only have to move one light when they come straight into their first dance. So I can go back here to the light that I'm right standing by, just turn it to the dance floor, and then I can run back real quick, grab my other light, bring it up to the opposite corner. I usually like to cross light the dance floor and the toast. I just like the look of it. There we go. And then I got my on-camera flash to get it once they're a little closer to me, or if I just would need it to fill in anything. All right, now time for a light swap.
But keep your eyes on the dance floor as Prince and Lori share their first dance as husband and wife.
I'm gonna cross it over there, and then also I know I'm gonna need lit similar for the toast because there's that big strip of light that's coming in from one of the top windows right across the table. And then later you'll see that it does. And then I'm just going to wander around the room and shoot through the crowd. Get a bunch of different angles. Do it with the flash, without the on-camera flash firing, to try to word am I looking for? I'm going to walk around, and then sometimes I'll shut off my flash, so I'm shadowing out the people in the room, but they're kind of getting silhouetted by the window light coming in from behind them. But then Brent and Lori are lit on the dance floor, so they're kind of isolated in the room, and it just kind of a nice look. And I'm also looking for other people's reactions as I'm wandering around. I'm especially watching for the parents, grandparents, siblings, the wedding party. People that I know are usually going to have the strongest reactions, and then I'm also just wandering and looking everywhere. Anybody that's leaking, I'm going to get a shot of it, so that's the rule. I was like getting a shot of their name in the lights by the cake in the background behind them.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brent and Lori, how about a round of applause? And now Lori will be joined on the dance floor by her father for the father.
And then same thing. I'll just make the pass around the room a couple times for the parent dances. Similar deal. Re-aim the lights a little bit. Also, too, when I cross light, I'll kind of feather them just a little bit opposite. So I'll have one of them kind of aimed like towards the other light, but to the left a little bit, and the other one aimed at the other one and also to the left, so that they're both kind of aiming at the edge of each other. So I cover a little bit wider path in the middle, but I also still kind of get the middle coverage of the light beams. All right, now the toast. Now is when I'm super glad that I have off-camera flash, because trying to fight that awkward, weird sun strip right in the middle of that guy's face is going to be brutal. And, of course, it's exactly where it is. He does a toast here in a minute, and it's right in his face. Watching for the couple's reaction. I'm watching for the speech giver's reaction. I'm watching for people in the crowd.
We went to a few places in the South Side, had a very responsible and reasonable amount of drinks. Came back to my place for a sleepover, and since we all worked at the same small business, we weren't able to take the next day off. So that morning, we all filtered in at our respective times. But when we walked in that day, she came through the break room door, ready to clock in, and just said, "I just forgot the sink."
Swap lenses, put the 135 back on again, get some different angles, get some tight shots.
She's hardworking, loyal, and caring to every person and what she needs, and she'll truly be a treasure to you for the rest of your life, Brent. Now, Brent. You've always been so supportive of Lori, and you always have her best interest and safety in mind. You've been so happy to share your home with us, even before Lori lived together, and gave us a safe place to sleep and hang out after some of those responsible evenings. You talked about earlier. You give us space for girls' night out days when we weren't working, and you even bought the coffee bread. He gives us. Lori, we're so lucky to have a partner who's so kind and supportive. Finally, we'd like you to turn to each other and repeat this toast after us. Yep. Okay, here's to you, and here's to me. I hope we never disagree, but if perchance we ever do, then here's to me, and to hell with you.
And then back to the crowd for reactions for the cheering. And here comes.
Thank you to Amy and Melissa. And now I'm going to hand the mic over to Christian Johnson.
right in the face.
If I could, some of you are looking at me right now thinking, you've seen me before, but it's actually because my twin brother just married these two. And I'm not quite the order of my brothers, so please forgive me for what's about to take part here. For those of you who don't know, my name's Christian Johnzak, and I love
So luckily the flash helped counter the exposure on everybody, plus him, plus outside.
And Jeanette, Randy, and Greg, and Tammy. Sorry, I'm trying to remember everything. They made some great kids, huh? So thanks, you guys. I want to thank the groomsmen here. Some of them paid to be here, just so everybody knows. And I want to thank the bridesmaids. Don't they look beautiful, everybody? I first met Brent about 10 years ago when we were in the police academy together. And when me and Brent
I
first
thought about a shot through the mirror, but then it ended up being super dirty, and I was like, I got it, but I didn't end up using it.
And Brent was sitting across the table from me, and he was wearing this beat-up old Chevy hat with the black Chevy bow tie on it. And I thought to myself, you know what, this is a cool dude here. I like this guy. And ever since then, me and Brent have been the best of friends. In the 10 years I've known Brent, and I've been through a lot of things together. And I've seen him do a lot of amazing things himself. And some of those things here I want to talk about. I've seen Brent become a police officer, first and foremost. And I've seen him do things like back trailers on thieves, so they have to come or quads, or whatever. I've seen Brent get on some sort of surface.
Back to some more reactions, wander around the room, kind of isolate them with flash also.
And not complain one bit like that. And I've also seen Brent stumble over a cooler at a Jason Aldean concert after having 3 too many drinks. I've seen Brent stand on a protest line and have explosions thrown in his head. And I've seen Brent back a 15-passenger van up 4th Avenue, 90 miles per hour in reverse. Me and Brent have traveled this.
All right, so dinner's over, and they were down to go out for a sunset for a little bit, so we come out for like 10, 15 minutes. Kind of see what we could get. Got to shoot through them grass and get them backlit a little bit. I definitely always like trying to do this when I can. But sometimes the venue, not the venue specifically, but just the area just doesn't work for it, or the timeline doesn't match up, or there's just, maybe they're just burnt out by then, and I'll try to find some spots in the venue where we can do something that's a little different. And then
That one's nice.
let it ride.
That's like
I have it all over my arm from.
Instagram versus reality. It's
Yeah.
just drastically, they pop.
All right. Look at each other one more time. All right. Lori, chin down just a little. See, Brent, turn your head more towards. See, Lori, your head also more towards that side. Trying to get a silhouette outline of your faces here. There we go. All right. Yeah, unless it does something else later, I don't know what we're gonna get much here.
Yeah, it looks like it's already about to be time.
Now that chunk where Brent wanted to go earlier is
I don't know, did you guys have any
not direct
ideas
sun, so
for anything?
that'll make it a lot easier.
You want to stand on the edge there and get a
I
look
just
out
kind of got
or
a
something?
silhouette. And
Oh,
then
that is cute.
maybe something. Let me cover the rocks with you guys.
Yeah, there's a big rock pile in the back too that's kind of tricky to
Brent, snip for you.
shoot around for the ceremony and for the this shot. Made it work though. Got it edited out pretty easy.
It's your mistake. It's too late now.
Are you falling over the cliff?
Go catch the deer.
Is it deer? Oh yeah, too.
And you got anything more for this?
Maybe like Hogan from like how you guys were presenting.
And I know anytime that I'm out of ideas or am just my brain is stuck, I'll just throw it out to anybody else. Hey, you guys got anything? I'm totally down for that always.
Yes. Or actually, hold on. There. Hug her like you mean it. Oh my goodness. Yes, exactly. That's perfect. You guys can keep swinging like back and forth. Yes. That's perfect. Okay, hold on. Like close your eyes now.
Close it?
Yes.
If she has an idea, I'll just let her lead with it, and I'll just get some side shots,
You have another one?
call out some other little things, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
Face to face, holding hands. So, yeah. going to get closer and you're going to share a kiss. Perfect. Now you're going to bring the hands up. Get close. Hold on, I'm coming. Keep looking at him. Woo. I'm coming this way. Perfect. Now, let's do, you're going to be facing us and he's going to be behind you. Not super behind her, like a little bit, yeah. Put arms up. Arms up.
Reverse Titanic.
Let's play the airplane. Grab hands, and you're going to be like swinging. Yeah.
Anything to get them to laugh.
Yes. And then, without telling her, you're going to give her a big hug. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay, good job.
Can you move around enough and now for a twirl, maybe?
Yeah. Well, like,
is it better with this bustle? Okay, I wasn't sure how bustly it would be.
Question.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I'm like, what?
Nope, the venue owner come up and needed them for a minute, so.
I was like, seriously? Keep bumping. That'll make her laugh. So. That's perfect.
We'll center you on the...
Now we can also get the shot up here that they wanted, that earlier we already saw from before, that I didn't want their shadow to be cut in their face or to be all squinty, so now we can make it nice.
You know how to do the twirl?
Have fun with this one.
You kind of have your hand up and she spins around under it. All right, ready? All right, go ahead and go. It doesn't have to be fast or anything either. Whatever arms. There we go. Awesome. That works. Got any other ideas for him? You guys got anything else?
Go behind him. Okay, Brent. First, yeah. You're going to step. You're fine there. You're going to come this way. Yep.
These kind of shots too are the ones that grandma's gonna like and mom's gonna put up, and just a nice standard shot. And they wanted to do a nice big group shot with everybody, so stand it up on a chair, put on the Sony 20mm f1.8.
All right, everybody cheer for Brent and Lori. One more time. That was
I have my flashes in the back and lighting everybody with the speed light. Now it's just open dance time. Same deal. Cross-lit the dance floor, and I like to stand on the opposite corner of the lights. So as long as I'm not on the corner, the light's on, and I know I'm gonna get some nice lighting. Another reason I like the off-camera flash, especially for this kind of thing, is that I can, well, just like the toast and the dances too, I can wander around the room and the light stays the same. So sometimes I'll like to go out, especially if they got a big window like that. I'll go outside and shoot into the dance floor. Usually I don't have enough light to light the outside of the building too, but depending on the building, I may try that one time. Take a couple smaller speed lights to light the dance floor and take the bigger flashes outside for that. See how it works. Other than that, though, usually my off-camera flashes are just bare flash, or if I'm using it for like the couples portraits or something, then maybe I'll put that mag sphere on it. But that's usually about it. Or the grid sometimes if it's that kind of thing. But other than that, it's usually just bare flash. I'll use the zoom function on it to control it if I need it a little more, but nothing crazy. Then after the dancing's done, that is a wrap. I already knew they wouldn't need too much of that, so I'm going to catch you on the next one. I hope you liked this video and was able to get something out of it. And I got plenty more of these I need to edit and get put up, so you'll get to see some more stuff going on. So I'll catch you next time.